Welcome to Deep, Dark Depths. Tonight, we uncover a terrifying memory from 1998 that still haunts the town of Carthage. It was a summer defined by heat and the deafening, constant drone of cicadas that seemed to vibrate inside your skull. The insects emerged in the billions, covering every tree and surface, their screaming song driving the local residents slowly toward madness. We were just 5 innocent kids looking for adventure, completely unaware that we were riding directly into a living nightmare. Our plan was simple and naive. We wanted to make the scariest amateur horror movie that our small town had ever seen. York, Eric, Laramie, Marissa, and I scouted for locations, looking for something abandoned and desolate to serve as our film set. That was when we found the Hinsley place, a rotting farmhouse that stood like a tombstone in the middle of nowhere. The locals avoided this place, whispering rumors about bad soil and cursed land. But to us, it looked like movie magic. We noticed movement inside and saw Old Man Hinsley looking terrified, boarding up his own windows as if preparing for war. He was not trying to keep people out. He was desperately trying to keep something terrible from getting inside his home. Instead of leaving, our curiosity got the better of us, and we decided to spy on him to understand his fear. Day after day, we watched him dig a deep trench around his house, filling it with sharp stakes and broken glass. It was a medieval defense system designed to stop something that moved on the ground from reaching his front porch. As night fell, the sound of the cicadas became a rhythmic, pulsing roar, masking any other sound in the dark woods. We returned one night with our camera, hoping to capture the old man's madness on tape for our horror movie project. Hinsley was standing on his porch, clutching a shotgun so tight his knuckles were white, aiming at nothing in the dark. Suddenly, the trees at the edge of the forest began to thrash violently, and the deafening cicada song abruptly stopped. The silence that followed was heavy and suffocating, far more terrifying than the noise, pressing down on us like a weight. Then we saw it emerge from the shadows, a figure that looked human at first glance, but was wrong in every way. It moved with a jerking, unnatural rhythm, its limbs too long and possessing too many joints to be anything human. The old man fired his weapon, the boom echoing across the valley, but the creature did not even flinch or slow down. With a powerful leap, the thing cleared the trench and the barricades, landing silently on the porch railing above the man. In the moonlight, we saw its face, a triangular nightmare combining the features of a praying mantis and a melting man. It struck with lightning speed, its scythe-like arms descending upon the screaming old man before he could reload his weapon. We were frozen in absolute terror, unable to look away as the scene before us turned into a gruesome, bloody slaughter. The creature did not just kill him. It began to take him apart, piece by piece, with the precision of a surgeon. As the life left his body, the cicadas began to scream again, a chaotic choir celebrating the bloodshed on the porch. We scrambled backward and ran for our lives, tearing through the cornfield, expecting to feel cold claws on our backs. We made a pact that night to never speak of what we saw, convincing ourselves it was a hallucination or a nightmare. The next day, police found the old man missing, his house torn apart, but they simply ruled it a mysterious disappearance. Weeks passed, and the summer sun seemed to burn away the fear, lulling us back into a false sense of security. Laramie was the most affected, constantly looking at the trees, claiming he could hear a specific clicking sound inside the buzzing. To prove we were okay, we decided on one last camping trip by the river to say goodbye to the summer. We set up camp miles away from the Hinsley place, believing distance would keep us safe from the horror we witnessed. The night was going perfectly, until Laramie stood up, saying he needed to relieve himself, and walked toward the dark woods. We didn't think anything of it, joking and laughing, until 5 minutes turned into 10, and the silence became heavy. Then it happened again. The woods went completely silent. No crickets, no wind, just a sudden, vacuum-like void of sound. We stood up, calling his name, our voices trembling as the memory of the Hinsley farm came rushing back to us. A scream tore through the night, high-pitched and filled with raw agony, sounding like Laramie was being ripped apart alive. Adrenaline took over, and we sprinted into the darkness, our flashlight beams cutting wildly through the thick underbrush and trees. We found his sneaker lying on the moss, and deep drag marks in the dirt, leading further into the dense thicket. I shined my light upward and saw it. The creature was clinging to the side of a massive oak tree. It held Laramie's limp body against its chest with one arm, staring down at us with those cold, dead, black eyes. It opened its mandibles and released a sound that wasn't a roar, but a mechanical, deafening mimicry of the cicada song. Before we could do anything, it scrambled up into the canopy with impossible speed, vanishing into the night with our friend. The search lasted for weeks. They found nothing but his other shoe and strange, triangular puncture marks on the trees. Laramie was gone. The authorities called it a runaway case or a wild animal attack, but we knew the truth. The group fell apart. We couldn't look at each other without seeing the monster and hearing Laramie's final, terrified scream. I began to research and found a pattern. People vanish in this part of Missouri every 17 years, like clockwork. It coincides perfectly with the emergence of the periodical cicadas. They wake up to breed, and something else wakes up to feed. The creature hibernates underground, just like the insects, waiting for the cycle to turn so it can replenish its energy. I am an old man now, and I have spent my life watching the calendar, dreading the return of the brood. Recently, I found fresh tracks in the woods and deep holes near the old Hinsley property. The cycle is beginning again. The 17 years are up. The ground is warming, and the buzzing is starting to rise from the earth once more. I am telling this story as a warning. If you live in Missouri, stay away from the woods this summer. It is hungry after a long sleep, and it prefers prey that is easy to catch, small, and full of life. I have started boarding up my windows. My neighbors think I'm crazy, just like we thought Old Man Hinsley was crazy, but I know what is out there. I know that wood and glass are the only things standing between me and death. Can you hear it? The sound is getting louder every night. It starts as a hum and ends as a scream. Something was scratching at my door last night. It sounded like dry leaves scraping against wood, but with deliberate force. If you hear the cicadas stop abruptly, do not look out your window. Do not go outside to investigate the silence. That silence is the dinner bell for the creature. It moves in the void of sound, striking before the noise returns. I still see Laramie in my dreams. He is still in the woods, waiting for us to come and save him. Sometimes I wonder if he is dead, or if he is being kept down there in the dark, part of its larder. The hunting ground is expanding. It is not just Carthage anymore. The disappearances are spreading across the entire state line. I will not run this time. I am the only one left who knows how to kill it. Or die trying. The banging has started again. It knows I am in here. It remembers me from that night 17 years ago. This is my final entry. If you find this recording, do not come looking for me. Burn the forest down. I can hear it clicking its mandibles. It sounds like a ticking clock, counting down the seconds of my life. Goodbye, and may God have mercy on anyone who hears the song of the summer cicadas in the dark. There is no escape from the cycle. It always returns. It always feeds. And it is always watching you. The sun will rise tomorrow on an empty house, and the town will forget, just like they always do. This story serves as a memorial for Laramie and for all the others who were taken by the thing in Missouri. You have been listening to Deep, Dark Depths. We bring the darkness to light, one terrifying story at a time. If you survived this story, hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next nightmare. Thank you for watching Deep Dark Depths. If you hear the cicadas singing tonight, lock your doors and stay inside.